I am N.S. Venkatraman. I am speaking on behalf of Nandini Consultancy Center, which is a firm of chemical engineers and chemical business consultants based in Chennai and Singapore. Today, I propose to talk on green hydrogen, the hopes and the bottlenecks that the world is facing with regard to the state of green hydrogen industry in the world today. It's all very widely recognized that green hydrogen is a sustainable energy, it is an eco-friendly energy, and many people believe that ultimately the world emission issues can be sorted out and solved only by resorting to massive production of green hydrogen in the world, which requires enormous efforts with regard to technology development and cost optimization with regard to the production of green hydrogen. So far, so good. Everybody is expecting that green hydrogen will be the ultimate solution for the world, and the world is waiting for green hydrogen to develop and grow fully. Now, given this fact, let us look at the ground realities. Hydrogen is called by four alternate names. When hydrogen is produced from natural gas, it is called gray hydrogen. When hydrogen is produced from coal, it is called brown hydrogen. In the case of production of hydrogen from natural gas and from coal, considerable amount of carbon dioxide emission takes place, which is a global warming gas. So obviously, gray hydrogen and brown hydrogen are not eco-friendly. In the case of producing hydrogen from natural gas or coal and carbon dioxide emission takes place, if the carbon dioxide emission would be totally captured and stored in the ground, or the carbon dioxide emission is used profitably and usefully in production of derivative products, it is good. This is called blue hydrogen. But the prospects of blue hydrogen are not really very good today because the technology for storing carbon dioxide in an eco-friendly and economical way is yet to be developed. So as far as the gray hydrogen, brown hydrogen, and blue hydrogen, we should think all of them are not eco-friendly today. Under the circumstances, only 100% eco-friendly hydrogen is the green hydrogen. This is accepted by everyone in the world. There is no dispute on this at all. The green hydrogen is produced by what is called the water hydrolysis process. This water hydrolysis process is known for several decades. It is nothing new about it. But then, given this importance for the eco-friendly product developed, suddenly the water electrolysis process has assumed enormous significance and publicity all over the world today. Good, water is available. Green hydrogen can be produced by water hydrolysis. So everything is wonderful. But there are bottlenecks and roadblocks. One is the production cost of green hydrogen by water electrolysis is very high because this is a power-intensive process. For every kilogram of hydrogen, you require 48 kilowatt hour of power, which is very high. As a result, the cost of production of the green hydrogen by water electrolysis process is in the region of rupees 450 to 500 per kilogram. As against this, the present cost of gray hydrogen from natural gas is only 150 rupees per kilogram. India produces today around 5.6 million tons of hydrogen. Most of them are coming from natural gas and other sources, not by water hydrolysis. So the country is used to a price of 150 rupees per kilogram of hydrogen. If this is going to become 500 rupees per kilogram of hydrogen, green hydrogen, country cannot bear the shock. There will be a cost push inflation. So this will be a very unacceptable situation. This is the number one roadblock. So obviously, the production cost of this green hydrogen has been brought down substantially from rupees 500 per kilogram to the level of 150 per kilogram. A lot of efforts are being undertaken. Now, one way of doing it is improve the efficiency of the water electrolyzer so that it consumes less power, or reduce the production investment cost in the water electrolyzer. Today, a water electrolyzer costs around rupees 6.3 crore per 1 megawatt. And now this has been brought down to the level of 2 crore per megawatt to be economically viable. Now the question is the power requirement for water green hydrogen can be reduced? If the cost of electrolyzer can be reduced, if the efficiency of electrolyzer can be improved, These are the ground reality that is today now. There is a challenge that is facing the world. It doesn't look that we have a solution anytime too soon. Now, another big issue here is the power that has been supplied for the water electrolysis, green hydrogen, that has been coming from renewable sources like solar power, wind power, or hydropower. Now, Government of India has fixed a very lofty target of 500 gigawatt of renewable power by 2030. Considering the enormous progress that the Government of India has made and the dynamism of the Government of India in supporting this renewable energy project, we can all hope that by year 2030, India can have 500 gigawatt of renewable power. There is no doubt about it. I think it is going to happen. But then the problem here is the solar power, wind power, hydropower are seasonal. You don't get it throughout the year. In the case of wind power, for example, in Tamil Nadu, which is a very large wind power producing state, there is good wind speed only for 4 months in a year. Apart from these 4 months, other months, the power comes down. Sometimes it becomes even nil because there is no wind speed. This is the same thing in all the states where wind power is in operation. In the case of solar power, again, if there is going to be monsoon conditions, if there is going to be highly wet conditions, during the night, we don't get solar power. That means it also not going to work 24 hours. The case of hydropower also, unless the dam is full of water, you don't get hydropower. Then because of the monsoon, because of the climatic conditions, you don't have full water in the dam all the time. So hydropower also, we find a situation, it is not available throughout the year. So because of these seasonal factors, optimum utilization of renewable power is not possible. Again, due to technological issues and the seasonal nature of the resources, what really happens is the capacity utilization of solar power, wind power, and all this is only in the average, is not 20%. In other words, if we are going to have a generation capacity of 500 gigawatt by 2030, the effective power that you are going to get from solar, wind, hydro, and all this is going to be hardly 100 gigawatt. It is one we have to necessarily keep in mind. So with 100 gigawatt of power available, quantity of the green hydrogen that you are going to produce is nowhere near the needs of the nation, where a requirement of hydrogen is around 5.6 million ton per annum. It does not even touch fringe of the problem. So what people do somewhere nowadays is another big thing that is going on. Several people claim abroad particularly that they are producing green hydrogen. Of course, they do by water electrolysis. But the power comes from solar fossil fuels like natural gas or fuel oil or coal. Then it is not really green hydrogen. Because green hydrogen, water electrolysis is a eco-friendly process. The power required for the water electrolysis is supplied by thermal power station, where the burning of the coal or fuel or natural gas gives you a lot of emission of carbon dioxide. So that is not green hydrogen. So green hydrogen we can call only by water electrolysis. And also, if renewable power is going to be used, that is not going to happen. So the possibility of generating green hydrogen, the strict sense of the green hydrogen, even by 2030, when renewable power will be 500 gigawatt, this is not going to happen. It is not going to touch the fringe of the issue. That's number one. A lot of developments are taking place around the world. People are trying to develop new technology, optimize the electrolysis process, or optimize the cost of electrolysis and all that. There are two technologies primarily being done. One is called proton exchange membrane, another is called anode exchange membrane. They are all technologies in development. But in the case of this proton exchange membrane, there are serious issues of pollution, corrosion, because acidic corrosion is an issue. In the case of these other anode exchange membranes, there are also problems. So these two are developing stage. We have not reached the end of the day to say the technology is perfect. So as on today, all over the world, the cost of production of green hydrogen by water electrolysis is much higher than the cost of production of hydrogen by using other process from natural gas and all this. That's number one. This is an unacceptable situation. The economics of the industry will collapse if such a high costly green hydrogen is going to be used, replacing the hydrogen produced from fossil fuel. That's number one. Technology is still in the evolving stage. Now, given this particular kind of scenario, where do we go from here? Now, as far as India is concerned, Government of India has fixed a hydrogen policy with the objective of promoting the hydrogen industry as fast as possible. A good call. I don't say I have anything against this. It's a very good move. We need to do this. At the same time, your Reliance Group has said a multi-billion-dollar project announced for renewable energy infrastructure, where they claim that they are going to make electrolyzers, they are going to produce green hydrogen, they are going to have a lot of solar, wind power, renewable energy power generation. All these are in the paper only. People are being recruited, but last word cannot be said about this because we are nowhere near achieving the target. And perhaps these basic problems of electrolyzer design and the cost of production of hydrogen has to be sorted out before Reliance Group could get into the particular thing. We don't know where it is going to happen. Adani Group has announced they have going to have a contract with this collaboration with the Canadian company for developing hydrogen fuel cell. Good enough, develop the hydrogen fuel cell, but where is the white hydrogen going to come from? Where is the green hydrogen going to come from? This is the problem. Now, Larsen and Toubro, Indian Oil Corporation, and Renew Power have joined together and signed an agreement to develop green hydrogen projects. Good enough. Do this. I have nothing to do. What I'm trying to stress here is there is a huge euphoria that is being developed with regard to the prospects of hydrogen as an ultimate solution for the global emissions and ultimate solution for India's excessive dependence on import of crude oil and natural gas. Now, all these hopes are still, right now, a wishful dream. Certainly, hydrogen is not in the doorstep for us. We need to go a long way to get it done. What I'm concerned about is an impression is being given to the countrymen that hydrogen energy is going to come down. Newspapers are full of editorials and headlines about the hydrogen, but the basic issues are not being discussed with the depth that is required. Now, to add to the insult to the injury, Niti Aayog now has announced they are going to work out an export plan for green hydrogen. Now, where is the green hydrogen? Where is the cost of green hydrogen being competitive? It is not there, but still they say that they are going to announce a policy for and fix a target for export of green hydrogen. This is laughable. Now, another funny thing is a team from Netherlands has come today and they said they will buy green hydrogen from India. Where is the green hydrogen? All newspapers are full of headlines. Editorials are being written about India exporting green hydrogen, as if green hydrogen has come. I want people to see the ground reality, understand this. See, one of the things is to find a prescription any problem, diagnosis has been important, and prescription will be as good as the diagnosis. I'm trying to only diagnose the problem, saying that green hydrogen, and tell the countrymen green hydrogen is good, green hydrogen has been promoted, green hydrogen will be the ultimate solution for the emission in the world. All these are true, but there are intractable technical problems today, intractable cost of production problems today that has to be solved out. A lot of people are working on this, but it doesn't look that we are going to get a solution anytime too soon. So right now, I think green hydrogen is a distant and a sweet dream. Let us be dreaming about this. Let us be hoping about this. Hope for a day when green hydrogen is going to come. Until then, we have to necessarily keep our fingers crossed. Thank you.